Hi, hello. How how you? How you? Me Flea, how you? How are you? Thank you. I'm here with the show. I'm here with the show. You may know that I like to put on a show. The Flea Bitten Show. Live from the Crypt. That's the name of I'm changing the fucking name. I'm changing it. I'm changing it. It's not good. I gotta come up with something else. I'm getting a new email and I'm changing the name of my show. I'm ending it. I'm ending the show. No, I'm just kidding. But I am gonna... I might have to come up with a new name. Anyway. Despite me being extremely sleepy for some reason, I'm here. Because I think this is more important than not doing the show. Or something. Today, I have an interesting topic in Weekly Weird. It's quite interesting. And then, video games. Do you like video games? I do. Not like games. At all. I hate them. To be completely honest, I hate all video games. As a big fan, I'm allowed to say this. I'm glad all the game studios are getting shut down. That's right, I said it. I'm fucking glad. Burn. No, I'm just kidding. Well, as the world continues to burn, all we could do is really empty some buckets out on the fire and hold hands while we burn together. But that's okay. Well, it's not okay, but what else can we do? The heat has dissipated. The heat has let up a little bit. A little bit too much. It's kind of a tiny bit cool. It's about 70. It used to be for the past couple days it was around 150 degrees. And settling at night around 110. That's right. I think that's an accurate assessment. But we carry on. I'm trying to look after my health. I'm trying to get back into doing cardio. I gotta see if my jogging spot is open again. It's tough. It's tough being 30 or 40 years old and trying to lose weight. Trying to open up my air passages. My air passageways. my nasal, my air intake, it's closed. I wonder if I have sleep apnea. I probably do. But anyway. Fuck it. I'll just die, I guess. I've done it before. I could do it again. Today, we're gonna be looking at cargo cults. I hope you could handle that. We're gonna go to school today. We're gonna learn about anthropology. It's very important. But it's also weird. Alright? Don't fucking look at me like that. Alright. Let's fucking get this over with. That shouldn't be showing by default. What if I had porn there? What if I had disgusting pornos? I'd be fucking banned. Good riddance. See, I got 3 playlists. Tell me, between these 3 playlists, what goes best with anthropology? My main playlist, ambient, or creepy? What are we going with? Do we go Silent Hill for cargo cults? It's really not that creepy. It's just some guys on islands. That's it. That's it. Some guys on islands. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess we do ambient. Hit it. Hit it. There it is. That's loud. Not sure why the Eldato Stream Deck is kind of choppy. Choppy? Kind of. Maybe it's VLC. I think VLC is weird. Anyway. Welcome. Welcome to the stupid fucking show. So, today we got cargo cults. Let me clear my throat. Cargo cults. A spiritual and political movement that arose among indigenous Melanesians, which is nearby Polynesia and Micronesia. The islands, the outer islands of the Australian continent. That kind of thing. Following Western colonization of the region in the early 20th century. The first documented cargo cults were religious movements that foretold followers would imminently receive an abundance of often Western food and goods, the cargo brought by their ancestors. The cults have a wide diversity of beliefs and practices, but typically, though not universally, include charismatic prophet figures foretelling a coming cataclysm or utopia, a worldview known as millennialism. Here are the said guys. Okay, they got are solid. I don't know what that. You got facsimiles of airplanes is most notable here. I like these glasses, these goggles. They kind of go hard. But, you know, what the hell? What are they doing this for? Why do they do this? Well, they have these beliefs. And it sounds not too dissimilar to modern cults in the Western world. To me, almost indistinguishable. If you know about cults, it's basically just this. You just swap out some stuff for our more well-known, at least in the West, kind of ideas. You know, but even if the guys over there on the islands don't know what it is, I think humans overall are attracted to the unknown. The idea of knowing, or at least being adjacent, or having the possibility of learning some kind of unknown forbidden knowledge is very attractive. It's kind of why I look at these sort of things. Kind of the stuff most people, I guess, wouldn't bother looking at. Silly things, perhaps. But anyway. So they adopt new rituals, such as ecstatic dancing. So it's basically almost like interpretive dance. Imitating of the actions of colonists and military personnel, like flag racing, marching, drilling. That's an interesting part. Use of the term declined in scholarship on the basis that it bundles together too wide a diversity of movements and is too pejorative. So the term cargo cult has fallen out of usage, which I think, yeah. Well, we'll get into it. So, anthropologists have described cargo cults as rooted in pre-existing aspects of Melanesian society as a reaction to colonial oppression. So, I think that's important to note. Like, it's sort of like a coping mechanism, right? And inequality disrupting traditional village life, or both. Inequality. So it's just, I see a lot of this, and I see echoes of just the stuff that you hear about in the West. So it is true, this old idea of like it is racist, right? It's not the sort of outright racism, but it's this whole idea is rooted in the idea of the of the civilized and uncivilized. The, dare I say, it's like a false dichotomy, right? It's like, look at what they're doing. They do this, how silly of them, how dumb. And it's like, have you paid attention to your peers, to the rest of people around you? And I hate to be fucking society pilled, but come on. Like, come on. Have you seen what's been going on in fucking modern society? This is, and towards the end of pre-reading some of this, I'm like, okay, so my thesis is fucking, this just highlights how similar all humans are across the entire world, regardless of our social our fucking our difference in societies. Our circumstances. So some groups have transitioned into and basically they have been evangelized by missionaries. I've come to see a lot of these places. I really wonder how much evangelization has happened, how much missionary work has done to like stamp out. I think recently I saw, so I think it was a Vice documentary or something about how what's happened. Missionaries have caused less so of like straight up Christianity to spread around the world, and more so of like an adoption of certain Christian symbology and ideas just mixed into local cultures. Like, I think a lot of the world doesn't really fuck with monotheism. I think what ends up happening is like they're always like, "Oh, cool god, we'll add him to our gods." I think that that just always happens, right? They try to be like, no, only one god. You can only have one. And then everyone else is like, they're like, okay, sure, we'll do that. Oh man, so yeah, a bit of a stereotyping in this idea. This is something you could kind of like read past, kind of don't take this at face value, is what I mean. Papua. I want to go to Papua with my Papua. It is interesting. The indigenous societies of Melanesia were typically characterized by a big man political system. Oh, okay. I mean, that's a lot of humans, honestly. That's very common. A system in which individuals gain prestige through gift exchanges. The more wealth a man could distribute, the more people. So like, it's just funny how the West thinks of itself as above everyone else, and it's just like, nah, man, we got the same shit. It's the same shit over and over again. We are no different from people who are wearing grass skirts. Those people, same shit. Go give them a hug, man. they're going through the same shit. Seriously. This idea, this arrogance of Western man, seriously, it fucks with people's perception. Many cargo cults existed in opposition to colonial rule, often linked to burdens placed on villagers by colonial authorities. Many cargo cult movements sought to revive ancestral traditions, often in the face of their suppression by missionaries and colonial authorities. What the hell's Kava? Oh. Cargo cults often serve to unite previously opposing groups. So I read somewhere that it was mostly noted after World War II, but then I immediately encountered something that was like, actually, they've been doing this since, like, forever. Yeah. The most widely known period of cargo cult activity occurred among Melanesian islanders in the years after and during WW2. Japanese forces used their knowledge of local cult beliefs, intentionally misrepresenting themselves as the ancestors of the Melanesians, and distributing goods freely in order to acquire compliance and labor. Later, the Allied forces arrived in the islands and did this as well. Of course. The vast amounts of equipment and supplies that both sides airdropped to troops on these islands meant drastic changes to the lifestyle of the islanders, many of whom had never seen outsiders before. So that's interesting. That's why it spread so much after World War II. They were just coming in and parachuting down tons and tons of shit. Probably just to be safe. Probably a lot of this stuff never got used. Often shared with the islanders who were their guides and hosts. The John Frum movement. You see that a lot, and I have no idea what it is. I think it was a figure associated with cargo cults. Often depicted as an American World War II serviceman who will bring wealth and prosperity to the people if they follow him. You look like you got a white face, a tall man. You come from South America and bring plenty of cargo. And every man to get everything you want. That's what they said. So John Frum wasn't a guy, it's just a sort of figure. I think this was one of the biggest oops. Alright. I got this fucking highlighter add-on. I have to take it off because it sucks ass. Ceremonial flag raising. Alright. So you get the gist. Post hoc. Ergo propter hoc. A fallacy. Between correlate, it's the false depiction or understanding of correlation. Correlation does not equal causation. Basically, it's an underlying fucking fallacy that all humans like to do. The right wing, especially. So, it's kind of like you start with a belief and work backwards. It's the opposite of the scientific method, and it this is it's the bare essence of it's the formula for magical thinking, if you know about that. So here's some literature from the Seventh-day Adventist Church website. I think if you think about it, there must be a ton of text on what missionaries see across the years. So this guy, Dr. Gottfried Oosterwal, he said the word cargo derived from Pidgin English word kago, meaning material wealth of Western origin. I wonder if that's true. I wonder if I Google the etymology of cargo, that this it'll point to this. I don't feel like doing that right now, though. Described a combination of native beliefs, animism, and Christianity. Animism being the idea that inanimate objects, all inanimate objects hold some sort of a soul, right? The ancestor spirit, messianic qualities. We kind of covered this. The first time an SDA missionary encountered a cult was apparently in 1927, so way before World War II or One. Robert Tuddy. A self-proclaimed prophet acquired an old almanac and distributed its pages among those who were to receive the cargo. He predicted all the Europeans would leave the area and his people would have sole use of the goods. Government officials imprisoned the man for 6 months to deter the false hopes. So again, the sort of coping with a drastic change, colonization. I think people don't like change. We do a lot to cope with it. All people. So talks about Palo. Figure named Palo, surrounded by a mysterious glow, commanded his followers to shake themselves. Villagers threw boxes of coins into the sea. Government officials eventually arrived to thwart the movement. Wonder who was, I guess, when they say government officials, it's probably, colonizers who are in the area. Some small pockets of a cargo cult exist in isolated coastal areas. However, with access to more widespread education, the church's encounters with cargo cultists have largely dissipated. So here's this blog post. I think this date isn't accurate. I think that's a placeholder. This is actually from 2012, 2013. So Burning Man in 2013 made their theme Cargo Cult, which made me wonder. I would have thought like Burning Man was in the first place sort of inspired by this, but apparently not. The burning of a wooden effigy, probably like in mockery of a mainstream culture. I don't know what the fuck Burning Man's about, but I know it's lost its counterculture authenticity by now. But yeah, he was criticizing them sort of about not being what's the word I should use? Well, this is a pretty good blog post. I was reading it. He explains what a cargo cult is and kind of dunks on Burning Man a bit. And he talks about the story of a cargo cult is such a seductive parable of the encounter between the modern and the Paleolithic. We want this story so we can use it as a metaphor. We need to stay wary of how the story of the cult is a little too appealing. Springs from part of performing for the anthropologists who find it fascinating. It's racist, is what they're. I touched upon this before. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it was it's. I mean, it's a bit thoughtless on their part, I think. But anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about in relation to this topic. Yeah, it had me thinking about how I already ranted before about how fucking arrogant Western people can be, so that's it. Hope you found it interesting. You could do more reading by yourself. All right.